My hand was already on the cheap brass handle of room 312 when I heard her laugh through the wall. Not the polite laugh she gave my mother. Not the tired laugh she gave me at 11 p.m. when I asked how her day was. This one was raw, hungry, the laugh she used to give me the first year we dated. Then a man's low voice answered, too muffled to make out words, but the tone was intimate, possessive. My palm went slick with sweat. The key card in my other hand started shaking so hard the plastic edge cut into my thumb. I never turned that handle. 3 hours earlier, I had followed the black Audi A6 from our garage in Oak Park all the way downtown to the Marriott on Michigan Avenue. I parked 2 rows behind, watched Lena step out in the navy trench coat I bought her last Christmas, watched Anton rest his hand on the small of her back as they walked through the revolving door. I sat in my Toyota for 47 minutes, engine off, counting every time the lobby clock flipped another minute. Then I paid cash for a room on the same floor, told the front desk kid I lost my wallet and needed to pay later. He didn't care. Now I was here, room 312, my wife inside with another man. I pressed my forehead against the cool door and listened. Bed springs? A zipper? Her gasp, sharp, followed by a moan that punched me straight in the sternum. Every sound was a blade sliding between my ribs, slow, deliberate, designed to hurt maximum. I could have kicked the door in. Ah! I could have screamed her name until security dragged me out. Instead, I took one step back, then another, until my shoulders hit the opposite wall. I stood there until the hallway lights dimmed to night mode, until the moaning stopped and the shower started running, until I was 100% certain I would never forget the exact pitch of her pleasure with someone else. Then I walked away, down the emergency stairs across the lobby, out into the October cold. I left the keycard on the windshield of Anton's Audi. No note, just the card. Let them wonder who saw. 11:47 p.m. I pulled into our driveway on Elmwood Avenue. House dark except the porch light Lena always forgot to turn off. I let myself in, disabled the alarm with the code 0523, our wedding date, and started moving like a man who had rehearsed this for months. First stop, the office. I opened the MacBook, logged into Chase, transferred $41,320.37 from the joint checking to the new account I opened 6 weeks ago at First Midwest Bank under only my name. Left her exactly $2,400, enough for November mortgage, com-ed, and 2 weeks of groceries. Not a penny more. Second, credit cards. American Express, joint since 2019, limit $28,000. I removed her as authorized user. Same with the Visa, the Discover, the Home Depot card. Every account she used to buy $180 face serums and $300 sneakers gone. Third, the safe in the closet. I spun the dial 142709, her birthday, and took the emergency cash envelope, $6,000 in hundreds. Left the fake bottom jewelry box with the cubic zirconia earrings she never wore. Let her think I took everything of value. I packed 1 suitcase and 1 carry-on. 3 suits, 7 dress shirts, 2 pairs of jeans, the navy cashmere sweater she said made me look husband material. I left every photo of us on the dresser, face down. 12:51 a.m. I poured myself a finger of the Yamazaki 12 she kept for special nights. Drank it in 1 swallow. Set the empty glass on the kitchen island right where she would see it first thing tomorrow. Then I walked out the front door, locked it behind me, and dropped the house key into the storm drain on the corner. I was 3 blocks away when my phone buzzed. Lena. I let it ring out. She called again. On the 5th call, I answered. Igor? Her voice was hoarse, panicked. Where are you? The house is empty. The accounts are empty. What the fuck did you do? I kept walking. I left, I said. Calm. Flat. You left? She repeated like the words were in another language. Yeah. 3 hours ago I stood outside room 312 at the Marriott. Heard everything. I'm done. Silence. Then the scream I'd been waiting for. You psycho! You had me followed? You emptied our accounts? I'll have you arrested. Go ahead, I said. Call Oak Park PD. Tell them your husband took his own money after he caught you fucking Anton in a hotel. See how that press release looks on your company's LinkedIn. She was breathing so hard I could hear it through the phone. You can't do this, she whispered. We have a life, a house. You can't just disappear. Watch me. I hung up, powered the phone off, removed the SIM card with my thumbnail and snapped it in half, dropped both pieces into a sewer grate on Grove Avenue. By 1:30 a.m., I was checked into the Extended Stay America off I-290 under the name Michael Carter, paid cash for 2 weeks. I lay on the rock-hard mattress staring at the popcorn ceiling, replaying every moan I'd heard through that hotel door. Sleep didn't come, but for the first time in a year, the knot in my chest loosened just enough to breathe. At 6:12 a.m., my burner phone pinged. Unknown number. One message. You think this is over? You have no idea what I'm capable of. Enjoy your freedom while it lasts, Igor. L. I stared at the screen until it went dark. Then I got up, showered, and started planning how to disappear for good. Because if Lena thought I was ruthless last night, she hadn't seen anything yet. The porch light flickered once when Marina stepped off the sidewalk and onto my cracked driveway. I was sitting on the top step, whiskey in a chipped Bears mug, watching the street like I expected someone to come for me. She stopped 3 feet away, hands in the pockets of her dark green barn coat, breath visible in the cold September air. I saw her peel out of here an hour ago, she said, voice low, tires screeching like in a movie. I didn't answer right away. Took another sip. The burn felt good. She made her choice, I finally said. I made mine. Marina nodded once, slow. She didn't ask if I was okay. She just stood there, quiet, solid. Then she looked straight at me. You deserve someone who actually sees you, Igor, not someone who looks through you. I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. She cut me off before I tried. Don't say anything tonight. Just don't break, okay? She turned and walked back across the lawn. I watched her porch light come on, then go off again. For the first time in months, the silence didn't feel like it was trying to suffocate me. 7:04 a.m. The next morning, the front door slammed open so hard the hinges screamed. I was in the kitchen pouring coffee when Lena stormed in wearing the same clothes from yesterday. Mascara smeared, hair wild. She threw her keys on the island. They slid, hit my mug, knocked it to the floor. Ceramic exploded across the hardwood. We need to talk, she hissed. I leaned against the doorframe, arms folded. So talk. I'm not leaving this house. Half of everything here is mine. You don't get to just erase me. I smiled, not friendly. Sure. Half the mortgage, half the ComEd bill, half the new roof I paid for 2 years ago. Start writing checks. Her face twisted. You block my cards. You drain the accounts. You're trying to destroy me. No, I said, stepping closer. I'm done paying for your lies. Want half? Pay half. That's how equity works. You're doing this for revenge. Revenge would have been throwing your shit on the lawn the night I heard you moan Anton's name through a hotel wall. I gave you 30 days of silence instead. You're welcome. She opened her mouth, closed it. For the first time in 10 years, she had no script. You don't get to treat me like this, she whispered. You put more effort into hiding dick appointments than you ever put into this marriage. Tell me again how I'm treating you unfairly. She spun and stormed out of the kitchen. I heard her bedroom door slam upstairs. An hour later, she came down carrying a mug of coffee like nothing happened. Sat across from me at the dining table. I didn't wait. You think this is just about Anton? She pressed her lips together. Isn't it? I leaned in. Anton was the 4th. Maybe 5th. I stopped counting. Her eyes flickered. Recognition? Panic? You're delusional, she snapped. You made it all up to justify acting like a dictator. I pulled the manila folder from the chair beside me and slid it across the table. Open it. Her fingers shook as she flipped it open. Photos spilled out. Lena in a red dress leaving the Westin in Cleveland with a man whose wedding ring glinted in the flash. Lena in the passenger seat of a silver BMW in Milwaukee. Hand on another man's thigh, Lena checking into the embassy suites in Nashville, laughing at something the guy behind her whispered. Dates stamped, hotels, license plates. She shoved them away like they burned her. These prove nothing. Colleagues. Networking. 3 different cities. 3 different men. Same wedding ring on your left hand in every picture. Try again. Tears welled up. I didn't flinch. I believed you the first time, I said. Doubted you the second. By the third, I hired the investigator. You never wanted a husband, Lena. You wanted a stage prop and an ATM. She started sobbing. Real or fake, didn't matter. I'd seen both versions too many times. I didn't mean for it to go this far, she choked out. You didn't think. That's the entire problem. I stood up. We're done here. That afternoon, I sat in Victor Reyes's office on Harlem Avenue. No artwork on the walls, just file cabinets and a dying ficus. He flipped through my folder, page by page. Photos. Bank statements showing $11,400 in business dinners that matched hotel charges. Screenshots of her texts I pulled from the iPad backup before she realized I had the password. Victor tapped the stack with his pen. Adultery, financial infidelity, pattern of deception. We've got her nailed 6 ways to Sunday. You want blood or you want clean? Clean, I said, but I want her to feel every nail. He grinned. Then we're filing tomorrow. Fault-based divorce, marital waste, dissipation of assets, and I'm attaching a petition for exclusive possession of the house pending final decree. She'll be out in 30 days unless she posts a bond she can't afford. I nodded. One more thing. I want an emergency order of protection. She's already threatened to make me regret this. I'm not waiting for her to show up with a knife. Victor didn't blink. Done. You got cameras? 8. Motion activated. Cloud backup. Perfect. Anything happens, we bury her. We shook hands. Walking out, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. Text message. You think a lawyer scares me? You took everything from me? I'm going to take everything from you? Sleep light, Igor? I screenshot it, forwarded it to Victor, then blocked the number. That night I sat on the porch again. Every creak of the house sounded like footsteps. Every car that slowed on the block made my pulse spike. At 11:47 p.m., headlights crawled past the house, paused in front, then moved on. Black Audi S6, Anton's car. I didn't move, just stared until the taillights disappeared. Tomorrow the papers would be served. Tonight the war was just getting started. I was still in Victor's office, pen in hand, signing the last page of the petition when the phone on his desk buzzed. He glanced at the screen, raised an eyebrow. Unknown number. Probably her. I nodded. He hit speaker. Igor? Lena's voice cracked through the speaker like ice breaking. Pick up your fucking phone, we're not done. I didn't speak. She kept going. You think you can just throw me out like trash? I know where you are right now. I know who you're with. You'll regret this. Victor ended the call, saved the recording, and added it to the file. Threat number 4, he said. Perfect timing. 2 days later, the temporary order of protection was signed. She was served at 9:17 a.m. while drinking a latte outside Starbucks on Lake Street. By 6:42 p.m. that same day, I was pulling into my driveway after a late closing at the office and knew instantly something was wrong. The front door stood 2 inches open. Motion sensor floodlights were on, but the house was dark inside. I stepped over the threshold and smelled her perfume mixed with something sharp, rage and broken glass. The entryway mirror lay in pieces. The big wedding portrait we hung in 2018 was shredded, the canvas hanging in ribbons. Every cushion on the sectional had been slashed, white stuffing bleeding onto the hardwood. In the kitchen, drawers yanked out, plates smashed, the Sub-Zero fridge door wide open, milk pooling on the floor. My office, my books tossed, the framed MBA diploma cracked in half. I didn't touch anything. I pulled my phone, opened the Ring app, and there she was. Time-stamped 5:51 p.m. Lena, wearing black hoodie and gloves, using the spare key she still had from before I changed the locks. She walked straight to the camera in the hallway, looked up, smiled, and flipped it off. Then she spent 23 minutes destroying only my things. My clothes pulled from closets and cut to pieces. My grandfather's watch crushed under her heel. She never touched her own walk-in closet. Message received. I called 911 at 6:49 p.m. Oak Park PD arrived in 8 minutes. 2 officers, Ramirez and Cho, watched the footage on my phone without saying a word. Ramirez finally looked at me. She violated the order the same day it was served. That's felony level stupid. We're picking her up tonight. I nodded. Joe handed me his card. Change every lock again. Add a chain. You did everything right, man. Don't let her make you flinch. They left with the footage and a warrant already in motion. 1 week later, Cook County Courthouse, room 402. I sat beside Victor in a navy suit I bought the day before. Across the aisle, Lena looked smaller than I'd ever seen her. Hair flat, no makeup, clutching a crumpled Kleenex. Her attorney, a nervous kid from some downtown mill, kept shuffling papers. Victor stood first. Your Honor, the respondent violated a civil protection order within hours of service. We have video of her breaking in, destroying property valued at over $18,000, and making terroristic threats. We're asking for exclusive possession of the marital residence, forfeiture of any claim to marital assets due to dissipation and adultery, and a 2-year extension on the order of protection. The judge, Honorable Patricia Alvarez, watched the ring footage on the big screen without blinking. 23 minutes of silence in the courtroom while Lena's gloved hands ripped my life apart. Lena's attorney tried. Your Honor, my client was under extreme emotional distress. Judge Alvarez raised one hand. Counselor, I've seen distress. This was calculated destruction. The respondent had multiple chances to seek counseling, mediation, or simply walk away. Instead, she chose felony criminal damage and stalking. I'm not inclined to reward that. She turned to Lena. Ms. Karpova, anything you wish to say before I rule? Lena stood, voice trembling. I just wanted to get my things. He took everything from me. Judge Alvarez didn't blink. You had a police escort scheduled for tomorrow to retrieve personal belongings. You chose vandalism instead. Gavel came down like a gunshot. Divorce granted on grounds of adultery and extreme cruelty. Petitioner retains the marital residence and all equity. Respondent forfeits all claims to marital assets due to proven dissipation. No spousal maintenance awarded. Order of protection extended 2 years. No contact, 500 feet at all times. Violation will result in immediate incarceration. This marriage is dissolved. Lena let out a sound I'd never heard from her before, half sob, half scream, and collapsed back into her chair. Victor and I walked out into blinding October sunlight. He slapped my shoulder once. Clean. Surgical. You're free, brother. That night I sat on the newly repaired porch, fresh locks gleaming, security sign in the yard. Marina appeared at the bottom step carrying a foil-covered plate. Buckwheat and mushrooms, still warm. She set it on the railing and sat 2 steps below me. You eat yet? I shook my head. She nodded toward the plate. Figured. Eat. We sat in silence for a long minute. Then she spoke, barely above a whisper. I watched you carry this alone for years. You don't have to anymore, Igor. I looked at her. Really looked. No pity. Just truth. I'm not sure I'm ready, I said. You don't have to be tonight, she answered. I'm not going anywhere. 2 months later, Lena was living in a $900 a month studio above a vape shop in Berwyn. No alimony. No settlement. Her friends ghosted her the minute the judge's order hit public record. Anton blocked her on everything the day after court. I heard from a mutual acquaintance that she showed up at her parents' house in Des Plaines with 1 suitcase and cried on the porch until her father let her in. She sleeps in her childhood bedroom, floral wallpaper peeling, twin bed with the same faded teddy bear comforter she had at 12. Sometimes late at night, my phone still lights up. Restricted number, no voicemail, just breathing. I never answer. I just screenshot, forward to Victor, and add it to the file. Because the judge gave me freedom. But Lena still hasn't accepted that the game is over. And some nights, when the house is too quiet, I check the Ring cameras twice. Just in case. The envelope appeared in my mailbox on a Tuesday in early December. No stamp. Just my first name scrawled in blue ink that bled where her hand had shaken. I knew the handwriting even before I opened it. Igor, I'm sorry. I destroyed everything good we had. You never deserved any of it. I keep replaying the moment I crossed the line and I still can't find it. One day I woke up and I was already on the other side. I hope one day you're happy again. I don't think I ever will be. L. I read it twice in the driveway, wind whipping the paper. Then I folded it into a perfect square and slid it into the top drawer of the office desk. The same drawer where I keep the court orders and the Ring footage. Evidence. Nothing more. Life moved forward whether I wanted it to or not. Marina started showing up with soup on Thursdays, lasagna on Sundays. She never knocked loud, never asked how I was. She just set the Tupperware on the porch rail and sat on the second step until I came out. Some nights we didn't speak at all. Some nights she talked about her students at the middle school, about the kid who drew her a thank you card in purple marker. I listened. That was enough. One Saturday in April, I was on my knees in the backyard, planting tomatoes in perfect 2-foot rows. Dirt under my nails, old Northwestern sweatshirt soaked with sweat. Marina leaned on the fence watching. "You garden like you used to do spreadsheets," she finally said. "Everything measured to the millimeter." I sat back on my heels and laughed. Real, rusty, surprised the hell out of me. "And you strike me as someone who just throws seeds and hopes for magic." She grinned. "Guilty." We laughed until my sides hurt. First time in 2 years. A week later, my phone rang while I was at Home Depot buying mulch. Blocked number. I almost ignored it. "Igor?" Anton's voice, thin, tired. "Can we talk?" "5 minutes. I'll buy the coffee." We met at Ipsento on Western Avenue. He looked 10 years older, suit wrinkled, wedding ring gone. He pushed a white envelope across the table before he even sat down. "That's yours," he said. I opened it. A single lottery ticket, the one I'd bought as a joke in 2021. Number 04-09-17-23-38. I found it in her nightstand when she asked me to grab her charger. She told me it was a gift for you, that you two were going to cash it together when you retired. I checked the numbers last week. It hit for $428,000 after taxes. He wouldn't meet my eyes. "I can't keep it, not after what she did to both of us." I stared at the ticket. "She used to tell me you controlled all the money, that you kept her on a leash," he said. I believed her. I was the idiot who helped her cheat. "Take it. Please." I slipped the ticket into my pocket. "I don't want your guilt, Anton." "It's not guilt," he said. "It's just doing the only decent thing I can still do." We shook hands, no warmth, no drama, and he walked out. 3 months later, the final decree arrived in the mail. No more appeals, no more extensions. The house was mine. The accounts were mine. Lena's name was erased from everything except the police report and the protection order. That same week, Marina came over on a Wednesday night holding a black and white ultrasound printout. She stood in the kitchen doorway biting her lip. "I was going to wait until the second trimester," she said, voice shaking. "But I can't." She held the picture out, 2 tiny blobs labeled A and B. "Twins," she whispered. I took the photo. My hand didn't shake. "Double the chaos?" I asked. She laughed through tears. "You scared?" I looked at her, really looked, and felt something inside me click into place like a seatbelt. "No," I said. "I'm ready." Now it's October again. I'm on the porch, tea getting cold in my hands. Marina is 30 feet away on her knees in the garden, cursing at a stubborn potato plant, 8 months pregnant and still convinced she can harvest her own damn dinner. The protection order expires in 11 months. I still check the ring cameras every night, but the alerts have stopped. Inside the house, the lights are warm, the fridge is full. The drawer with Lena's letter hasn't been opened in 6 months. Some nights I still hear that hotel door in my head, the laugh on the other side. But it's distant now. Like a movie I watched once and never need to see again. Life isn't soft. It isn't always fair. But I stood still when everything screamed at me to burn it all down. I waited, I documented, I won. And tonight, watching Marina wipe dirt on her jeans and wave at me to come help, I know the real prize was never the house, the money, or the lottery ticket. It was this. Quiet, honest, real. And for the first time in years, I'm not waiting for the next lie. I'm just living.